Hi, it's Dr. Winbush with Sankofa Healing Arts and Functional Medicine, and coming to you today to share a few strategies to deal with the air pollution and wildfire smoke that we've been just encountering so much of lately. So lots of health impacts, both short-term and potentially long-term, to the air pollution, including lung irritation, coughing, respiratory distress. And over the long term, the particulate matter that can be at elevated levels is linked to a host of conditions like elevated blood pressure and other cardiovascular diseases, obviously asthma exacerbations, and even increased cancer risks. So here are some things that you can do to protect yourself and those you care about and support your body's innate capacity to deal more effectively with some of these pollutants that we're being exposed to. So the first is that a good defense is the best offense. And you can excuse my little drawing here, but it's a person in a house, and we'll talk about what this is signifying. The good defense is wearing a good protective high-grade filtration mask when you do need to go outside, an N95, KN95, and just limiting your exposure as you can. And they have their dumbbells and they're exercising inside because on those moderate or poor air quality days, to the best of your ability, you want to bring the exercise and the high physical activities indoors so you're not breathing even more of those particulates. And moving on, and since we're talking about the inside, some other things that you want to pay attention to are your actual indoor air quality. So if you're able to, investing in a good quality HEPA or other air filter is a good idea and something to think about as we're moving forward. And you also want to be mindful when you're cooking that your stove is vented, certainly your gas stoves, which there's more and more evidence around the formaldehyde and carbon monoxide that gas stoves can liberate. But anytime you're cooking, there's going to be volatile compounds from cooking oils, so you want to not smoke your oils. And also just regularly changing the air filter on your HVAC system. And while there is some debate around how much plants contribute to improving indoor air quality, we used to say that pretty regularly, and some recent studies have called that into question. There still is benefit to having plants in your environment, natural things in your living environment, even for just the calming effect on your nervous system, which is going to actually help your body to do the jobs that it needs to do in terms of supporting your immune response and detoxification. All the better. So speaking of supporting immune function, let's talk about some of the ways that our body does that. And one of those big ways is with mucus. We produce more mucus, and that's the body's way of trying to get rid of and expel irritants from the lungs. And so ensuring that you're adequately hydrated so that your body can make the mucus that it needs to. And if you have a balanced immune response, hopefully your body won't go overboard. And so actually making sure that you have adequate levels of vitamin D helps support the creation of enzymes that can help clear the particulates and generally lead to a more balanced immune response. So consider having your vitamin D level checked and getting your levels repleted in accord with your healthcare practitioner's recommendations if you are low. And how do we actually clear those toxins from our body? Lots of organs and systems are involved, but a big one is the liver. And so we have a picture of our liver here smiling at us. And, it is part of our body's innate capacity to transform and eliminate toxins. And it's one of the big things that our liver does for us. And so we want to support it. And one of the ways that we can do that is through the regular consumption of a specific family of vegetables called the cruciferous vegetable family that includes things like broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage and Brussels sprouts and collard greens that have substances that actually support that biotransformation or detoxification process. So trying to get those cruciferous vegetables into your diet regularly is super, super helpful. And then let's switch gears and talk about some other mind-body approaches. And so the first I want to share is a breathwork practice. And we've got our bumblebee here because the practice I want to share with you is something called the Brahmari breath. And Brahmari means the bumblebee. And so the way that we do this practice is to actually just sit in a comfortable position, gently close your eyes, and you want to take your index fingers and place them on your ears. Specifically, you want to place them on the cartilage that's between your cheek and your ear and just gently press in a way that's going to just slightly close off that ear canal. And as you're doing that, you want to take a deep breath in through your nose, and then you're going to exhale. And part of calming our nervous system, part of being able to get rid of the things that we want to get rid of is to have an exhale that's longer than our inhale. So you're going to take that deep breath in while your eyes are closed and you're occluding that, pressing on that piece of cartilage, and then you're going to exhale while you're humming so that it sounds like a bee. So it'll sound something like this. And then you can inhale again and repeat that breath 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. And it's both a very calming breath. If you do it at night before you're trying to go to bed, it can actually help you sleep. But it can also help with that expelling of air from deep within the lungs. And then the final thing that I want to share with you is an appreciation practice called the inner smile practice. And so our lungs, as we've talked about, are working hard during this time to help get rid of those particulates. And so we want to show them some appreciation. And so maybe as you're concluding your Brahmari breath or at just different points throughout the day, you can close your eyes, and this is actually based on a Qigong practice, and just send a inner smile of appreciation to our lungs for all that they do and help support us with our breath. So the inner smile practice here for happy lungs, to know that they're appreciated. So I hope there's something there that you find supportive and helpful, and I would love to hear any questions or comments. Feel free to leave me one. Thanks.